Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Age of Mythology Retold cast, but this time the game is released indeed. This is the real deal. We've got the production quality now as well. You can see the production bars on the side. So keep an eye on that, it's pretty important. You'll actually know what people are making. You don't have to rely on me accidentally clicking the right building. Now, in the blue color we have got Pegasusrush playing as Zeus. Dude, this guy is so strong. You'll see. You'll see. I'm not talking about Zeus. I'm talking about the player. The other side, we've got also a Zeus player, but in the red. This is Capoch. So we've got a super strong AoE 2 player versus a super strong AoM player. Actually, Pegasus also plays AoE 2 casually. So maybe they also fight there, who knows? I am not that familiar with AoE 2, so I'll be commenting on the AoM side of things here, obviously. Interesting build from Peggy where he's immediately going for these two villagers on gold. Well, not immediately, but they're early. So I'm really curious as to what his goal with that is at such an early stage. I typically wait until I have like 6 or 7 on food and then I do this, but maybe this is better. I'm curious what kind of advance time this will produce. Let's keep an eye on that. My one does like 3:45. I think his one might be faster. Now, there has been an upgrade already for Capoch with husbandry, which really the only effect here for him will be that chickens will be gathered faster, herdables will be gathered faster, but it's marsh, so you typically won't be wanting that. What it does, on the other hand, is that it increases the capacity of villagers for food. So they'll be walking a little bit less between the building, but it's microscopic, the distances. He's already optimizing the distance as well, so it doesn't do much, to be honest. In the long run, it will. But Pegasusrush is already clicking up for Athena. It's gonna be a 3:30. So Pegasusrush's build is in fact a full villager faster than my one. He clicks up at 14. I click up at the 15. Interesting. This is something to keep in mind. I accidentally did such a build today, but I'll be really curious with what his objective is. It seems to me, given the spread, that he's opting for a second town center. And then potentially a little bit of raiding action. We've got Jason coming out as well, supposedly just to pick up relics, but also to shoo away any potential myth units. So I'm fascinated by Pegasusrush's strategy here. Typically Zeus wars historically have been these boom wars. You go at least 2 TC, you run around with your centaurs and cavalry, and whoever gets more villager kills does best, right? But it might be something else entirely in Retold, because the centaurs are no longer these guaranteed villager murderers with their special shots, and we've got Athena as well, so there's that. Now, we've got a spread of fewer gold villagers than I suspected will stay. Peggy changed his mind, maybe? He's got such a big gold bank. Okay, this could be for Minotaurs. I take it back. He needs to put 1 villager on the temple, and then he'll be able to afford a Minotaur, which is 14 favor. I have to... Dude, I'm selecting Pegasusrush. Why can't I see the tooltips? Oh my god. The spectator can't see the tooltips. I just had a rant in another cast that wasn't very good about how so much can't be seen by the spectators. So here we got, I'm selecting Capoch's unit while I'm on Pegasus's view. As long as it's within line of sight, it's cool. Then he's not within line of sight and half the stats disappear. Mura Angi. Anyway, Ship of Fingernails getting picked up. Again, Pegasus doesn't know it's picked up, therefore the Fog of War simulation affects the spectator. Makes sense. Makes sense. So how many times were we talking about players needing to pick up relics when somebody actually took it and you're on the other guy's view? Oh, okay. What was the relic? It was the Ship of Fingernails, which is for food trickle. So his food situation will be even better. We got the bolt on the expensive hero versus the cheap hero. Meanwhile, these Toxotes are gonna have a field day with Jason over here and Pegasusrush. Can just keep pumping these out. Mass Toxotes seems to be the way, and I'm assuming he's gonna be wanting to back that up with Minotaurs, but he still didn't gather any extra favor, so he's just floating this gold right now. What is the job that he wants to do with that? It is important to have those tooltips. I'm getting argued with in the chat, but it is important because I want to show you guys what units are costing. I want to show you all sorts of things, and I have to click on the actual unit. I can't get that information from buildings. So now this Minotaur's dead, I cannot tell you if I don't remember automatically. Right? That's a problem. As long as they're on the field, it's fine. But what if they're modified by some tech or some relic? It's good to be able to show these things. Just adds to the cast. Anyways, the Hippicons are going after the Toxotes. They'll be picking them off very easily. So I think Pegasusrush definitely overextending here without the support of any myth unit whatsoever. Getting punished now. But he does have 4 extra villagers compared to Capoch. What is the deal with that? Wait a second, does he not auto-queue? We can find out. Oh my god, Capoch is manually queuing his villagers. In a game that supports auto-queue in ranked. I mean, he's a Giga Chad, but he's not perfect. This is what I was talking about so many times. You can be a professional RTS player and you'll slip up. Auto-queue plays the game for you. You're not playing the game if you're relying on auto-queue, right? It does it for you. You can't just not use auto-queue because then this happens. 5 villager difference. Pegasusrush killed 0 villagers. And he's he's up by 4.5 vills. Just because of the manual player's mistakes. Granted, he's made a fantastic army. He can go and put that to use, but Pegasusrush is just auto-queuing, and therefore he gets perfection. He just focuses on micro and making military units. It is gonna be tough for Capoch to come back from this, honestly. He needs to do damage right now while he can. Because Pegasusrush's economy is gonna go nuts. I like the spread formation on these Toxotes, by the way. That's very interesting for sure. Would be very nice for Capoch to send some of these centaurs to raid a little bit. But you know what? If we get some good manual casts on this army... that was an auto cast. I really think with the centaurs' case, you gotta turn it off so that you can force the army to keep moving the whole time. That's a really good cast, forcing the hoplites to eat those shots. The Toxotes have been thinned out in number. This is the exact sort of fight that Capoch needed. Maybe he can equalize the situation, but Pegasusrush with his restoration here, kind of getting ahead once more. The hero going after all these centaurs is absolutely brutal. Peggy just running in circles, picking off every single unit of Capoch's. Ay. Now he's ahead in military, villagers, and stored resources as well. Easy enough to avoid these areas. Lots of hoplites and Toxotes being made versus Hippicon, Hippeus, and Toxotes. I have to get used to Hippeus. It's the better name. Is it possible that making fewer villagers is better for a timing attack? They pay themselves off in less than a minute. The window is too small. Like if you're hunting, as Pegasusrush has been, right now I can't show you, but they have 1.0 gather rate on hunt. So 50 seconds they've paid themselves off. make that a minute with the walking. It's... You're not gonna get a timing attack out of this. They can just pay for their own existence, and then you can still make the units. Once you're ahead by a few, you'll be printing more units. You'll be adding an extra building and stuff like that. So it would have to be so extremely tight. Nobody really explored this space because it's not worth it. Too risky. The thing is, you also have so much extra population space in this game, and like you don't have to make houses that often. Every 10 population. Granted, most units cost 2 pop, but villagers only cost 1. Why did they change the unit names? I don't know. Why didn't they change Medusa to Gorgon? Because there's multiple of them. So why is it Medusa specifically? That's just a very unfortunate chick. Anyway. No justice. No justice for the Gorgons. But they changed the Pegasus. Pegasusrush here with an enormous army. 73 population versus 68. But I do feel he has a decent army here. The hoplites can take this on, but so... What? Wait. Capoch actually had a really good chance here because of the 3 centaurs still being around. I actually liked his chances. Why did he ceasefire that? Wait, what's the health situation here? They're okay. I think he could have taken this fight maybe, but I guess he's afraid of all these Toxotes. You have to keep in mind the hoplites pick off the cavalry very quickly if they get the chance due to decent pathing and stuff like that. I like the watchtower upgrade here, but they're very, very weak buildings. Only 8 DPS. And it's very easy to dodge it. Looks like Pegasusrush is going to be going up heroic for bronze, which means he shouldn't be wanting to engage right now. Best just pull back and make use of that age up directly. There's an extra tower being made by Capoch. Already done actually, and he's got the gold miners down here too. So he's definitely in a good spot. Pegasus does not need to attack the main base anymore. Nobody made a town center, even though I was talking about that being quite meta back in the day on the original game, but this game is a little different. Like, you have the weaker buildings. Town centers are significantly weaker, especially. So just going for one on the side, like here, it's not very easy to defend it. That kind of scenario can cause timing attacks. And we've got the market, so now Capoch will also be able to go to the heroic age. But he's not clicking up, he's making an extra centaur, he's getting Sylvan Lore. But bronze is here and ready to go now for Pegasusrush. He is gonna be going for it. But as long as his units aren't fighting, bronze isn't doing anything, and the heroes are getting picked off. The centaurs have free reign. They are upgraded as well. They're about to get their abilities. Let's see how those Toxotes can take it. Oh my god, Pegasusrush has another restoration. That bronze is gonna last a long time. Should Capoch just run? Honestly, what's he defending here? There's no one gathering from the gold mine even, but the Hippeos are getting on top of the Toxotes. This is looking like a decent fight, but the hoplites are vegging themselves in. Very clean micro as usual from Pegasusrush. Picking off archers with archers, but Capoch just seems to have more stuff somehow. 85 population to 40. And yeah, it must be that the centaurs just made this work. Very nicely done there. I'm making use of all these myth units, and maybe Pegasusrush is in actual trouble here. He is floating a significant amount of resources. He's not going mythic, but he does have a second town center now. He's got the Hydra, which he never brought to the fight either. And you know, if you can just remake his heroes, if you can remake some units, maybe get the watchtower upgrade. He'll have 3 heroes, by the way. welcome to the attack revealer. Say hi. I'm just kidding, it's Odysseus. Yeah, Pegasusrush did not need to attack. He should have seen that there's not many villagers there. And now there's 14, of course, so Capoch has moved some around. Capoch will need some food at some point. He's basically ready to go heroic. He's still hunting out here. Considering he consumed all the piggies earlier, this is actually working out pretty well. But here comes the big fight. Pegasusrush does not have much. I think he's trying to save up for the Mythic Age. What is that? Attack revealer. It's a market. Does Pegasusrush remember he needs to actually make a fortress? He did make a fortress. He's going Mythic. Hera. Oh my goodness. We're gonna see the Medusa. We're gonna see a massive lightning storm. Sadly, he doesn't have a dog, so we're not gonna get a Karkinos. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. There wouldn't be any use for it. I'm just kidding. Yep. Remaking the same army. Hoplites, Toxotes, bunch of houses. And if given enough time, this can actually bring him back into the game. This entire army would probably melt to the new lightning storm. It's that powerful. So Peggy just sitting back, enjoying his significantly larger economy by now because of the second town center. Capoch is only just now starting this thing. I mean, it's halfway done, but still. Yes, there were several minutes of activity. Pegasusrush is population capped, so there is that. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong guy. Capoch is population capped, so he can't even make villagers. Oh my god, economically, losing that fight is helping Pegasusrush. He's making villagers because his population isn't full. This army is blocking villager creation right now for Capoch. What a tragedy. And Peggy is here. He's gonna hit him with the freaking lightning storm at the gold mine. So both the villagers and the army is gonna get wrecked. This is gonna be brutal. Oh my god, here it goes. Starts easy. Gets more and more brutal over time. That Hydra. I want everyone to fire on that target. No. No, it's over actually. Lightning Storm is done. It killed every Toxotes, but now Bronze is here. And there's not enough hoplites to take this kind of thing on. Also, all the Centaurs are gaining Bronze too. The heroes wouldn't be doing all that much to them. This is not liking this very much. The Bronze Hydra is better than the other one. Pegasusrush, however, buys another Bolt God power. He knows he needs to deal with this, but hey man, he lost everything once again. This isn't working out. Although he has 80 villagers now to 56, eventually Capoch will catch up. So what now? This is heavy cavalry at this point. It's starting to be a little bit terrifying. Capoch is making extra Hydras as well. As if he hadn't had enough myth units already. There must always be more. Hoplites are doing their best to fight off this horde, but the horde is too big. And Pegasusrush is in some serious trouble. I bet he wished he had his fortress nearby. Well, he doesn't. There's a lot of praying going on, but he doesn't quite have enough to recast a lightning storm. He would need more than double the favor to get that done. But guess what? The epic attack revealer can do the job. It's Bellerophon, and the Medusa is also just petrified one of the Centaurs. Oh my goodness, this thing just picked off 4 Centaurs, 5 Centaurs in the space of 10 seconds. This is insane, this hero, if you micro him to the fullest potential. And Pegasus is certainly doing that. He might be failing on the army level, but that was epic. And it gets worse, the Hydra's next. I'm not sure it can get away. If he retreats from the Bellerophon, however, the jump will not succeed. But that was not the case just now. Pegasusrush in. Pegasusrush got in a ton of damage. Desperately still trying to remake units, but somehow doesn't seem to have enough economy. I think he has to spend that empty resource situation on something at least. They're not doing anything right now. Even getting Minotaurs would be better than nothing. The temple has to work. Pegasusrush is not training units right now, just trying to micro Belorphin, I guess. There is a villager Congo line going across the map to try to mine some gold. He does have 3 town centers and still 82 villagers to 68, so for now he's enjoying an advantage, but for how much longer, I'm not quite sure. Cavalry units just can stay here all day. The Toxotes have reached a critical mass where the hoplites can no longer just come out of here. So it's very difficult to take them down in these kind of situations. Capoch is starting to push in, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna soon start to think about the Mythic Age. Doesn't have the food for it right now, but if he transfers some of these wood villagers to make a bunch of farms, he'll be there in no time. Just needs the upgrades really. Which he doesn't have at the moment. Pegasusrush probably does. Have at least some. It's not enough, but it's something. Oh, the main town center is actually falling. This is a pretty big deal for Capoch. Finally, he can catch up in the villager count, and once he does, once he sorts out his food situation, he can actually economically come back too. And with these pushes happening, with the siege blasting at the third base of Pegasusrush, I think Capoch can actually win the game and put this away. Now, if this game didn't tell you that you can be a newcomer to AOM and get good and compete with the AOM players who've been playing for 20 years, then I don't know what game will. The police is on the field. They will try to do something, but there's too many cavalry units here, I think, to allow something like that. Great micro on the center, pulling it back when the Belorphin is trying to jump, but this guy's just a Giga Chat. He's faster, he's stronger, he's better, he's superior, and all those things. TC is still dead. Can't be everywhere at once. You only get one of this guy, thankfully. This guy keeps finding every unit Pegasusrush has tried to make. At this point, he would have to put everything inside the town center, but even that wouldn't work. And guess what? There's a Heracles here. Could go after Medusa. But just patience. Take out the fortress. Take over the TC. Go Mythic. Get your own Lightning Storm. I don't know. Not even sure what you'd use it on. Pegasusrush is still trying to rebuild. He's got some economy, but no longer has the population space to really compete with this. A dock transition is being attempted, but guess what? The ship ranges are inferior to those in the original game, so you cannot really hit the land units building, sorry. You wouldn't be in range for the town center to begin with normally, but 20 range, it can shoot back. It's gonna be a tough sell. There's a Scylla and the Carcino still. It doesn't matter if you have the dock already or not. Look at it, it's so cute. I like that Carcinos. Can they turn the game around though? Probably not. Probably not. Alright, where's the siege ships, Peggy? Oh, there. He's making him. He's making him. Do I have Capoch selected? Oh, yeah. That's why it's not showing properly. Alright, so now you can watch what the fortress does to Juggernauts. At some point, it will retarget, right? Oh my Jesus Christ. What a shit attack option. Yeah, do not do this in Retold until the balance gets changed. This is ridiculous. Like, they maintained the multiplier, but they also made so that the sea ships never get to outrange the fortress. So it's like kind of bonkers now. What an absolute joke. Those sea ships are not gonna siege anything, mate. They can maybe touch the docks, I guess. Oh my god, it's so bad. Absolute rubbish. Yeah, you can bother the villagers with it, I guess. Do 1 damage per shot. Amazing. Not really. Alright, some of those auxiliaries will die, but that's a sacrifice Capoch is willing to make for them. Peggy is coming in with all the upgrades in the world. But he does not have the map control anymore. He has the 2 TCs soon. Can he make an incredible comeback happen or what? The gold mine's about to run out. So at that point, he will either have to secure this one, where Capoch is looking actually, or alternatively set up a trade route, which he can barely afford. 11 villagers on farms is just not enough to make a trade route and units at the same time. Strangely, he's attacking buildings now with the Tuxodes. Eventually it will go down, sure. But guess what? Capoch is going mythic through Hephaestus. So we're about to have some Colossus on the field that will be pretty much putting away everything. He can start making Helipolis in addition to all this he can go for. Oh! There's gonna be another lightning storm, ladies and gentlemen. Here it comes. Siege weapons are gone. Tuxodes are about to be gone. And definitely the Hippeus are getting thinned out too. Capoch is actually below the population count of Pegasusrush for a moment. Can this be Peggy's moment? He's got a little bit of everything in an advantage, minus this TC location itself. He's sieging this, and now my game is getting stuck. Age of Mythology Retold. It's sorting itself out though eventually. Gotta go for those villagers. Maybe Velarfin could take care of these myth units. But remember, this one won't have access to any healing. We haven't gone up heroic through Apollo. We do not have Temple of Healing as a tech. So if he dies, he dies. Speaking of sacrifices people are willing to make. Medusa is very low in health. Maybe can shoot at the Hydra. That's great. That's great. Can't quite one-shot it, obviously. This thing is strong. But a lot of damage gets done. She's like a slightly better Frost Giant, I would say. But the petrification duration is lower. But she's ranged. She costs wood, which is nice. Except late in the late game. Definitely Peggy could spam Medusa right now. Got 1,000 wood, got 100 favor. I would be spamming Medusa at this, honestly. Get their upgrade as well. They get crazy range, by the way. Would be the only way to hold this at bay. Fortress will be coming up for Peggy, but just barely. Ay, ay, ay. Get sieged immediately by the remaining Petrobolas or the remade Petrobolas? I don't even know. No Helipolis being made. I think there is a problem where Capoch has probably not played enough long games like this. So there's a very, very good chance that he's just not aware of how to play the late game. And Pegasusrush could be making a better unit mix long term if Capoch just doesn't put him away. Speaking of putting Pegasusrush away, this is a good way to do it. Control the gold. There's only this to worry about. The fortress is about to be broken through. So I'm not too worried for Capoch here, honestly, guys. I mean, he's got it. Pegasusrush resigns, and Capoch is your victor in this ranked match. The AoE 2 Pro has done it. The advantage of having played for 20 years did not carry Peggy today. He must be tired after a work day. He wasn't playing his full potential here, I have to say, but still a huge achievement for Capoch. And I'm really curious to see what he can do in Red Bull Vololo and other big tournaments.